If you still think that hustle is the answer, you're playing a new game with old rules. The days of grind till you die and I'll sleep when I'm dead and all that stuff is over. The 4-letter word that saved my career is R.E.S.T. Look, companies aren't loyal. Layoffs are becoming more and more common. The world is moving faster and faster. AI is taking over in so many industries, in so many roles. So why are you grinding yourself into the ground for a gold watch or a social security that just does not exist anymore? We were taught that if we grind harder, if we work harder, grind long enough, get that degree, it will pay off. But in case you haven't seen the headlines, that world doesn't exist anymore. The world has changed. You can do everything right and still burn out. I realized that I had been believing this lie, and I had built a version of success that forced me to ignore myself, to ignore my health, to ignore my passions, to ignore the things I cared about. That's when I realized success isn't just about working hard. It's about how we define it in the first place. This is why I wrote my book, Rest is a New Hustle, a blueprint for thriving without burnout, why doing more is keeping you stuck and how to break free. Because here's the thing, this hustle culture is like a slow motion car crash disguised as ambition. There's no way we'd be able to keep up with the demands of daily life, with the pace of technology, and all these things with that same attitude, because the bottom line is you can win in the short term and still lose in the long term. You can't out-discipline a broken definition of success. Success isn't just about what you build or the life you create. It's about who you become while you're creating it. And rest protects that, because nobody gets to the end of their life and says, I wish I had been more stressed out. I wish I had pushed myself to meet one more deadline. I wish I had neglected my relationships and my hobbies and my life even more for this unloyal corporation or this unloyal society. Like, no one ever says that, but that's the way we live. And it has to stop, because we have to get out of what I call the autopilot trap. If you never take time to step back, you will never see the big picture of your life clearly. You can be productive and still be lost. You can be busy and still have absolutely no momentum in your life and look up and just be like, what happened? You can check off a dozen boxes off your to-do list and still feel like nothing changed. Have you ever been there? Like, man, I was so busy, but like, where's my life going? What happened? Because success isn't just about how much you do. It's about doing what matters and having the energy to do it well. And here's something that we know, but I want you to remember. The wealthiest people in the world are not making more money from grinding more hours. They're making more money from ownership, systems, and leverage. So why are you, as a high achiever, still trying to win by exhausting yourself? That model just doesn't work anymore. Grinding yourself into the ground isn't strategy. It's outdated. Rest isn't about doing less. It's about positioning yourself to think smarter, decide smarter, and live better. That's the goal. We want you to create a life that works for you, not for the system who just tries to take as much value from you as it can, not for others and what they think, but a life that works for you. That's why I created the REST framework. This came out of hard-won lessons. This came out of the chaos and just needing all that stuff to stop and just figure out there has to be a better way. There has to be a way for me to succeed without losing my sanity, without it costing my health, without me not being able to be a human being and having to be a human doing. So how do we do this? How do we break this down? And so you have 4 letters, R-E-S-T. Okay. R is reflect. E stands for energize. S stands for strategize. And T stands for thrive. So let's break this down further. R, reflect. If you never step back, you're just running on autopilot and you might not even be going in the direction that you want to go in. So The R step is about taking time to step back and really asking yourself those hard questions so you can make the adjustments you need to make. E is for energize because you need to have maximum energy to get maximum results. And that's what we want. You don't want to be living your life from this depleted, exhausted, tired place. Nothing good comes out of that, right? You need to perform at your highest level, and you can't do that without energy. Then we have S for strategize. And this is the step where you stop confusing motion with momentum. They're not the same thing. You could be moving and going around in circles. We want you to have a life where you're going strongly in the direction of your dream, strongly in the direction of the life that you want to create. And that's what strategize is about. So I was in a position where I was working a lot of hours at a job and the company got acquired and I was offered a promotion. Now, I already felt like I was being underpaid at this particular company. And then they offered me a promotion that would have been basically twice the work for about a 10% bump in pay. And so I advocated for myself, and they still basically refused to give me the pay that I was asking for, which is actually super reasonable. It's really under what it should have been. If I had not been in the position to strategize, I would have just said, oh, well, I guess I just got to take the job. But again, I have another video on here called You Have Options. I want you to remember you always have options. And so I was thinking and I was like, okay, I have to take this promotion because if I don't look like a team player. But at the same time, I'm going to position myself for other opportunities. And lo and behold, I did some things strategically to position myself for other opportunities. And then I got recruited for an offer for the same position I was doing prior to the promotion at almost double the pay. And so this step is about leveraging who you are and what you have and the resources you have to get maximum output, maximum results for the minimal amount of effort so that you're not wasting your time and wasting your energy in areas where it doesn't suit you anymore. And the truth is, I could have stayed at that company and they would have further drove me into the ground. But I moved and so many other new opportunities came out of that. This is all about leverage. Creating leverage, taking time, doing the best thing you need to do for you. And it's so important, but you don't get there without the R and the E. All right. So we have S for strategize. And then we have my favorite, T for thrive, because success should feel good. So this step is the most important to me because I realized I had built a life that looked good on paper, but didn't feel good to live in. And now peace is my new productivity metric. I try to align my life to things that feel good, that work for me. So the whole point of Thrive is defining what success looks like for you. We are the most resourced generation in history. We have tools and the internet and AI and all these other hacks everywhere. The smartest career move isn't more hustle. It's to rest strategically and work smart. So if this resonates with you, this is exactly what I unpack in Rest is the New Hustle. I want you to do two things. I want you to go to therestbook.com and get your copy. You can get paperback or audio to listen on the go. And number two, I want you to grab the Rest Starter Kit at restbookgift.com, which has tools to help you implement this in your life so that you can start working smarter and not harder, learn the new way, stop falling for the old way. There's so many systems that are still trying to sell us on the old way because that's how they make money. Focus on the new way and build the life of your dreams. It's your time. The old model says grind. The new model says rest. It's time for you to adopt that new model. Check out the resources below. And I'll see you in the next one. And if you like content like this, please like and subscribe because I want to help you walk out this new world instead of living the old one. And I can't wait to see your success story when you do.